our panelists are actually some of the top professionals in the industry, and they are also from the top accounting and finance companies internationally. So we are in for a treat, right? So our audience is really very fortunate to be here. And maybe I will not keep you waiting. To articulate it better, I can give the floor to our speakers to introduce themselves, their background, where they are from, and what they are currently doing in their current role. All right, so maybe we can start with Cheryl.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Cheryl Esquivel. So I'm the head of financial reporting at Northern Trust Corporation. So prior to joining Northern Trust, I started my career at SGV. I was there for a couple of years and then I moved on to work overseas. So for the past over 13 years, I've been working overseas. So now I've joined Northern Trust, as I've said, as head of financial reporting team. So I lead a span of about 300 people. So delighted to be part of this career fair.
Thank you, Cheryl. I think that's common then with a lot in the accounting and finance, not starting with SGV specifically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Glad
of
to
the
have you
big
back.
four, normally.
Yeah. Glad to have you back in the Philippines.
Delighted to be back.
Yeah. And maybe we can go next to Raymond.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. My name is Raymond Go, and I am the location leader for the consulting service line for EY Global Delivery Services in the Philippines. I've been in the professional services industry for the past 20 years and have been part of several multinational companies in the past before I joined EY. It's actually just really a big pleasure for me to be speaking in this panel, and I hope the participants will pick up a few useful tips that will help you in your journey to find a job and to, of course, build your career.
For sure, they will get a lot of lessons here. All right, so Raymond, you mentioned you are actually from Ernst & Young or EY Global Delivery Services. So maybe you can discuss a bit about the company. How is it different from EY? Of course, you have this Global Delivery Services tag in your name, so our audience might be curious about that.
Yeah, of course. Certainly. So EY refers to a global organization. So we work across areas of assurance, consulting, strategy, and transactions and tax. So EY as an organization has nearly 300,000 professionals globally. At EY, our purpose is actually to build a better working world. So we play a critical role in building a better working world for our people, for our clients, and for our communities. EY Global Delivery Services. So we are a part of the EY global organization. So we are actually a vital element to EY's leading class service capabilities. So we bring together an industrialized combination of highly skilled professionals. For we do automation, we do cutting edge technologies as well to support our customers. So EY Global Delivery Services, actually, we are present in 6 countries. So we are in Argentina, in China, Poland, India, United Kingdom, and of course the Philippines. And we are scattered around 16 cities. So simply put, this global delivery services, so we are a delivery arm of all of the member firms. So in the Philippines, so SGV is the EY member firms, right? So we deliver services to EY SGV here in the Philippines, and we do that for all of the member firms across the globe. So that's kind of like a simple explanation to your question, Wilfred. Yeah. And then EY GDS, we are in Manila, we are in Taguig. We are actually significantly expanding the support that we do. So we're actually seeing exponential growth, especially in the digital transformation space, right? That we see our different member firms in the global organization are supporting our customers. And briefly, one thing that we're proud of as well is the quality of our work. So EY GDS Consulting, we actually we were successfully assessed at CMMI level 5 across our different centers. And with this certification, we actually joined an elite group of top 25 organizations across the world to have been certified for this. So that's a really brief background about what we do, EY GDS, where our presence, our footprint.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you have still a lot of accolades and awards and
Mhm.
that you have yet to mention there. Wow.
For
So
sure, for
yeah.
sure.
All right. So Cheryl, meanwhile, is from Northern Trust. So for those uninitiated, Northern Trust is actually one of the largest banking institution in the United States. It's also one of the oldest, I believe. So yeah, maybe Cheryl, you can also give an introduction of the company as well.
Yeah, that's right. So one of the oldest, definitely. So it's a Chicago founded or headquartered bank. It was founded in 1889, so quite an old bank. Essentially, it's not just a bank in that it also provides complex and custom asset servicing functions. So by that, I mean investment management, fund administration, wealth management solutions. So we have a lot of products and services catered to both high net worth individuals as well as institutions. So siguro to give you an example or an illustration, so you're an individual or an institution and you have assets. So you go to Northern Trust and ask Northern Trust, hey, Northern Trust, can you invest my assets? So through the investment management service of Northern Trust, they can do that for you. Or you can also be a company who actually manages assets. You go to Northern Trust and ask Northern Trust, hey, can you cut my NAV? I.e., can you do the bookkeeping administration for my books and records, and make sure that the value of the fund is calculated correctly. So Northern Trust can do that. If you're again an individual or an institution who wants certain reporting to be done, like for regulatory purposes, accounting purposes, then Northern Trust can also do that for you. So again, we have a lot of services that we offer, and the focus is mainly on financial services, so asset and wealth management, for example, and in terms of the length of the bank, I think it has withstood the test of time because of the core principles that have remained consistent throughout its founding. That's service, expertise, and integrity. So our focus has always been delivering quality and top service, high caliber service to clients, building expertise of the people, as well as demonstrating integrity. So as I've said, Northern Trust is not necessarily that known here in the Philippines just because they don't necessarily have a bank here, but worldwide or globally, it's actually one of the top global financial institutions. And then within Manila, what we do is provide the middle to back office support. So we do the financial reporting, the fund administration, the not just financial reporting, but also compliance monitoring. We also do risk and compliance services. So we do a lot here in Manila. I think in Manila, it's relatively a young like the vision of Northern Trust still, because we just started in like 8 years ago, but it has grown quite significantly from a team of less than 20 to now a team of almost 1,000. So you can just imagine the growth that we have achieved, and that is a testament to the commitment to service, expertise, and integrity of each of the partners, as we call it, each of the people that we have in the firm. So that's Northern Trust.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, I think this is a very great chance for both EY Global Delivery Services and Northern Trust to let it be known, your brand, to all the students that we have here. And for all the students, this is your chance to connect with them. They have an exhibitor booth here, so please feel free after the event, after this talk, to visit their booth and ask questions about applying with them or employment or the likes. All right. So, like what I've told the audience, we have world-class panelists here on our virtual stage right now. And I guess with that, the burning question in everybody's mind right now is, what is your organization looking for in an applicant? Maybe we can start with Raymond.
Sure. First of all, EY, as you know, we help businesses, we help governments solve complex challenges every day, right? So this means that we must constantly develop our workforce to understand and apply the latest technologies and approaches to solve these problems. And from our side, we'll provide the global scale, the personal support, very inclusive culture and technology to help our people to become the best versions of themselves. So now, what do we look for in applicants, right? So there are a couple of things. First, we look for people who are agile with a growth-oriented mindset. So we believe that the jobs of the future will be more engaging, they will be more flexible, and they will be more globally oriented than ever before. So that's why we recruit people today based on their mindset, not just their skill set. So when you join us, we invest in your development so you can continue to build this kind of a mindset and make sure that you also have the technology skill set to thrive. And we know, right, that technology is fast changing these days. So we've seen how this has been accelerated by the global pandemic. So what you might know now might be irrelevant quickly, right? So regardless of which field we're talking about, right? So technology is really disrupting everything. So what you know now might be irrelevant quickly unless you keep on having a mindset that wants to learn, wants to grow based on where the world is headed so that you won't be left behind. So again, people who are agile and with a growth-oriented mindset. Secondly, so we look for people who has a global mindset. So as I've mentioned, we are a global delivery services organization. So we work in an environment that will encourage you to think, to act, to lead globally. So you will have to embrace diversity and you will have to be open and willing to think and work beyond your own perspectives and your own borders. So we'll need that for you to create new ideas, to approach problems in new or different ways. So if you can imagine, you will be working with people from across the globe. So people from the US, from Europe, from Australia, from Singapore, from India, or just virtually everywhere in the globe, right? So we can't have a local mindset. We need to have this kind of a global mindset. And this is very important so that we can also become their trusted partners. And we know, right, that today's clients, they want to work with someone who understands them, who understands their perspective. So having a global mindset is a real competitive advantage, as well as a critical component in your ability to adapt in this environment and help your clients evolve as well. And lastly, of course, not the least, no, or not the only one. We look for people who has the passion. So we look for people who has the passion to work with us, to bring to life our purpose of building a better working world and to create long-term value and to institute positive changes for our clients, for of course, for our employees and for our society. So if that sounds like you, of course, get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us through this virtual career fair, or you can write a note to campus recruitment at gds.ey.com. Again, campus recruitment at gds.ey.com, and we'll take you through our virtual recruitment experience. For short-term and flexible opportunities, say you are able to commit only for a few months, right? Maybe you have plans further down the line. The good news is that we have a fantastic program for this. So we call it Gig Now. So Gig Now, GIG, and then Now. So you may visit our page, actually. It's www.gignow.com, and you may register there if you're interested. All right.
Sorry, I was on mute. All right. Thank you for that, Raymond. Cheryl?
Yeah, sure. So for Northern Trust, we're looking for people who are very eager to learn, and people who wants to or can embrace the A approach, as we call it within Northern Trust. And by that, I mean the 8 A's. So people who are able to adapt to change. So you expect the unexpected, you're curious, you embrace innovations and new technology. So that's what we're looking for. The next one is people who take action. So those who take intelligent risks, those who find the right people to get things done, who think creatively, who seek diverse ideas, develop and share the best practices, and are empowered to do so. We also are looking for people who advise beyond expectations. So those who ask questions to gain greater understanding, offer insights as well based on their knowledge and experience. Those who seek out emerging trends to develop a point of view, understand the capabilities, and connect them to the client needs. The next one would be those who communicate actively. So for that, I mean, those who actually listen closely to others' goals and checks their understanding. Those who are clear, concise, timely, those who are able to translate complex ideas into clear language. And then the next one would be those who are able to attend to detail. So by that, I mean, making sure you're accurate and precise in what needs to be done and what needs to be articulated. You deliver what's needed, and then you establish or develop an efficient approach to work and are vigilant in terms of protecting the business and clients from threats like cyber threats and the other risks that the industry is facing right now. And then those who are able to think analytically. So obviously, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. So making sure that you use your knowledge and then make data-driven decisions. And then those who are able to build authentic relationships. So cultivating relationships, collaborating. So at Northern Trust, we're a highly collaborative organization. So we always welcome people who think outside the box and are generating ideas and are shining, are letting their uniqueness shine. And then the next one would be those who are able to hold themselves and others as well accountable. So we have a high ethical standards within Northern Trust. So we want to make sure that people are always of integrity and they're always doing the right thing, and are taking responsibility for their action and their work. So I think those are the 8 A's, or the A approach, as we call it, that we would want, people wanting to join Northern Trust to really embrace.
All right. Thanks for that, Cheryl. So my personal key takeaways from listening to both of you. So I think the applicants should have a global mindset, of course. They have to be independent and they have to learn how to be collaborative, because they will be working with a lot of teams, with a lot of stakeholders and whatever they are doing. And I think the common misconception here is that the banking and finance sector is in a way static. Because from what I understand, it really is quickly evolving, especially with the technology that we have. So one trait that they must have is that they should be able to adapt to changes here, right?
Yep, definitely.
All right.
For sure. These days, nothing is constant, but change, right?
Especially with the technology right now. So with that, for students who do land a job with you, what advice would you give to help them survive and thrive in their first year? And maybe what shouldn't they do? Maybe we can start this time with Cheryl.
Sure. So for that, maybe I'll just keep it simple. So just remember the 3 ups. So build up, speak up, show up. So you should continuously build up your CV or your resume. And by that, I mean your skills, your knowledge, and experience. So for example, we've been talking about, the rapid pace of, technology and innovation. So I know that a lot of our partners within the firm are into digital upskilling, and the company also, invests in a lot of, training, learning and development initiatives to make sure that the people we have in the firm are continually upskilled. And then the next one is, as I've said, speak up. So be curious, ask questions, always try to appreciate or understand what you're doing, the whys of what you're doing. So you can really recognize the benefit and the value of what you're doing. and as I've said earlier, let your uniqueness shine through. So when we hire people at Northern Trust, we want to make sure that they don't lose their individualities. We believe that each person is unique and is able to offer something for the betterment of themselves as well as the organization. So make sure that shines through. And then the last is show up. So be engaged and demonstrate your sense of ownership and accountability. So these days, everyone's pretty much working from home in our organization. So the relationship is really built on trust. So by show up, I mean if you said you're gonna get the work done, get the work done, or if not, please communicate. So as I've said, it's a highly collaborative environment anyway within Northern Trust. So I think those are the 3 ups that I would give the new grads or the young professionals as an advice these days.
Wow, that's great. I actually took note of that. So that's build up, speak up, and show up, which I think is very much applicable to pretty much every workspace, right?
Yeah, and it's so easy to
Every
remember.
industry. Yeah. All right. So Raymond, can you share yours?
Totally agree with Cheryl.
Yeah.
It's very easy to remember. Actually, really a lot of great insights from what you shared there. Probably what I'll share would be will just be complementing what you just said, right? So first, likely when you start with a new company, right, your first few months will just really be about learning. So this can be learning about your role, learning about the company, learning about your customers, about the different people in the organization. So there's just so much to learn, right? So my advice is to be very intentional on how you will go about your learning. Try to connect all that you have learned and take note of what will be useful to make you successful in your job. So like at EY, there is so much support for continuous learning. Like EY has invested in various online learning platforms and actually long-term partnerships with learning organizations like GoFluent, with HALT International Business School, if you want to get further like education, or even Udemy for web-based learnings or for other type of learnings, among many others. We're actually very proud of our flagship program. So we call it EY Badges. So we focus on future skill sets that are all of our employees actually at EY. It can be like technical skills, it can be leadership skills, it can be business or market awareness. So we have a program for that. I mentioned earlier the HALT International Business School program, right? So this is the EY Tech MBA program, which we launched in March 2020. So this is actually a first program of its kind that is offered for all employees. So, and this is the first done by any global company. So we're, again, very proud of it. And that also shows our commitment to continuous learning for our employees. Second, we also make sure that you have a buddy assigned to you, right? We want to make sure that there's someone who can kind of be your support as you navigate your way around the organization. So one piece of advice there is to also make sure that you connect very well with your buddy. Make sure that any help or support needed that you might have as you start in your career or in your job, you will be able to work it with your buddy. And then the next is going back to what I mentioned, right, about relationships. So it's really about connecting. So connect with as many people as you can. You will just learn so much from their stories, from their experiences, and building those relationships will also allow you to have a network of people who will support you and make sure that they also help you with the tools that you need so you can perform well in your job. So what we have is actually a really strong ecosystem that provides you with the best opportunity to become successful as you join us. But what I wanted to say also is the company can do their part, provide the environment, make sure that you can grow, you can learn, you can onboard well as you start in a job. But ultimately, it's up to you who will drive and who will determine, right, the amount and the velocity or the speed of learning that you will have for yourself. So on the question on what to avoid when you start working, right? I guess it's very basic. Just don't assume that you know everything, right? You might know a lot from school or maybe from past work experience, but each organization will have their own culture, will have their own ways of working, own strengths and areas to improve on. So you might be again experienced on something, but not of course we'd like you to leverage on that, right? But also try to map it against how things can be done in another environment, right? So the message is always keep an open mind and welcome new insights and learning from various people and experiences. And I think ultimately this will also benefit you, right? As you learn new skills, as you learn new ways of working. So that's it.
All right. Thank you for that, Raymond. That's very insightful. So yeah, I guess with all the beautiful things that you have mentioned during our talk, maybe I can ask you in one sentence, why should students apply with your organization? Maybe we can start with Cheryl again.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So why NT? So if you want to be a part of a top global organization who truly cares for its people, encourages collaboration, diversity, and innovation, and will allow you to gain as much information and knowledge and experience in the FS or financial services industry, and at the same time have fun doing it, then join us.
I think that's a very important factor, having fun.
Yeah, work hard, play hard, as we call it.
Totally agree. Raymond?
Sure. So why EYGDS, right? First, one thing that we're really proud of is we are very clear on our purpose, which is to build a better working world. And this means providing value to our customers, to our employees, and equally important to our society. So that's one. So if you align to this purpose, then you will find that at EY. Next, which I mentioned is we make sure that you are in a position to start your career well, right? With all of the support that we have, and this means that you become you have the best chance to be successful in your job and to build a highly successful career with all of the investments that we also have put in the environment that we have built. And last, I think, not the least, EY is in an extremely exciting position right now to help our customers. Of course, with the global pandemic, we with our understanding of business, with our understanding of technology, right? Organizations, customers are looking for partners to help them sustain their operations at the moment, but also to position themselves well as maybe post-pandemic, right? Like how will they be like? And increasingly, customers go to us to help them with that, right? So if you want to be a part of that, right, helping the world get out of this post-pandemic mode, then there's just a lot of exciting opportunities that we have here. So again, we will make sure that you'll have these opportunities to grow your careers, and will make this a better working world for our customers, for our employees, and for our community.
All right, that's really great, Raymond.